Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Here am I, send me. That was Isaiah the prophet, who was being available to be used of God. God said, Whom shall go for us, and whom will I send? And it was Isaiah who stepped forth and said, Lord, I want to be used of you. That's one of the greatest feelings that a person can have in his or her life, is when they relinquish themselves and say, Lord, it's not all about me. Actually, it's not about me at all. It's about you, and it's about your work. This is God's world. This is His service. This is the place that He has put us for a little while in this world. We don't have much time here. Our lives are like a vapor, and we're just passing through. And so while we're in this world, it's made us, and He's going to take us out of this world when He's ready to do so. We all have an appointment with death. Our lives are just a brief span of time. We're here for a little while, and then we're gone. And if we can make an impact in this world for the God who made us and placed us here and serve His Son Jesus Christ in some way, then I think the world is better for it, and the world needs to see the light of Christ. And it was Isaiah who said to God, who was asking the question, Whom shall I send? And who will go? Who will go to the people of Judah and proclaim the message that I have for them? And Isaiah stepped forward and said, Lord, I want to go. But Isaiah knew that he really wasn't ready to go. He wanted to go, but he wasn't ready to go. And so God had to do a work in the life of Isaiah. There had to be some changing and cleansing and sanctifying and preparation. But God did that work, and Isaiah was willing for God to do that work in his life. And then Isaiah was able to step forth and do the work that God wanted him to do. So that's the question for you, the question for me, for all of us. We have to be willing for God to do the work in us that He wants to do, and that's changing us and cleansing us, and us stepping forth to be put into God's hands, to be made the kind of people that He wants us to be. And then when God does that work of cleansing, as He did in the life of Isaiah, and changing and sanctifying, and then God is able to use that individual. Like He was able to use Isaiah, He's able to use you. So for every person today, every individual, God has a task, God has a purpose, God has a plan, and God has a work for you to do. You may be thinking, well, what can I do for God? And how can God use me? It's really unlimited to how God might use you in business, in trade, in manufacturing, in leadership, in the community. There's so many ways that God can use you if you'll step forth and say, God, I want to be a light for you, a vessel for you. I want to be used of you, and carry forth the message of Jesus Christ. As Isaiah said, Lord, here am I, send me. And that would be a great desire for you today, for every one of us to say, Lord, I'm available, here am I, send me.